how do we do all the things that we wanted to do with limited resources? So we referenced her in so many ways.
Right, and she said, listening to their grandmother, that all you have is at your fingertips. All you have to do is use common sense. You have faced some challenges. People think, oh, they just think that they have this big company and they're in all the stores and everything must have just happened overnight and easily. But that's not the way it happened.
No, that's not the way it happened. That's not the way it happened. Titi and I, we feel like we've been working forever. Our dad put us to work at a very early age. But in terms of like Miss Jessie's and the hair business, Titi and I have been at it for over 2 decades. And we quietly just went to work. We never went to business school. We kind of went with it. We grew with our business. And it took time. And we were learning. We didn't take that one course to tell you how to do this and how to do that. So it was that trial and error. That was the approach that we took, but it took a long time to do it. I think longer than most people. And for that, I think the lesson stuck with us in a more meaningful way, because it wasn't just a class and a course. There was consequences to some of the lessons we learned.
So a couple of things that stuck out for me. She describes these wonderful scenes that Titi gets into the car and she says, we have a problem. And it was the IRS. Because they've been making all this money. So what was that? How did you get there? You were doing extremely well. But you were able to get out of it because of common sense.
Yeah. Well, first of all, no one ever explained to us that we had another partner. It wasn't just 50-50 between Titi and I. No one ever explained to us that we had to cut that up 45% to the government, 45% to the government. And Titi and I thought we were doing something. We would bank 50% of our earnings, and we started amassing a little bank account, so we thought we were really doing something. And tax time came, and Titi told me we owed $17,000 to the IRS. So now you have to understand, my relationship with the government was, they always owed us money. I never had to pay the IRS, and I never had to pay a $17,000 bill. And I couldn't see us having to pay that or more as the years went on, because in my mind, we were getting ready to make some more money. So what did we do? We thought that now is a time for us to buy a building. Now is a time for us to get a tax write-off if we're going to have to pay that kind of money into the IRS. And that's what brought us deeper into Brooklyn. And we bought our brownstone in Bedford-Stuyvesant, Brooklyn. And at the time, Bed-Stuy was the bona fide hood. Nobody was walking their dog. There was no Starbucks. It was the hood. And when you got off the train on Nostrand Avenue would let you know you're in the hood. And we did that in 1999. And our father, he was with us at the closing, and I remember how proud he was of us, that we were able to work hard and buy property, because my dad was a real estate broker growing up, so I think that was particularly special to him.
Well, and he used to make you work in his houses. That all came in handy because you hit another little bump.
Yeah. But Dad, when Titi and I were around 7 and 8, my dad, first of all, he was hustling all the time. There was no job that was beneath my dad. My dad was about his family, and he wanted to feed us legally. But by any means necessary, he would go and do what he had to do. And my